and realize that you are not the team. Woo! But you know, I have a dream. I have a dream that one day these motherfuckers will get this scary juice out their head.
Properly, I guess, French and English, and then dabble with Japanese, a bit of Spanish and Italian, because, you know, if you speak French, you're deemed to speak a bit of Italian. And
I done GCSE Spanish, but I can't remember much. I should really know more. It's quite bad, really, but...
I organize a guest list and work on the door on the Sunday nights. I will say I speak 3 languages, that's French, English and Spanish, and but I think that's already enough, but it's true, we always meet people from like everywhere. Germany, Italian, even Russian. This year it's really, really eclectic.
The first time I ever went to Russia, I remember getting stuck at one of the smaller terminals of Moscow airport, and like even words like yes and okay meant nothing to anybody, and I felt completely lost. I didn't know, there was no promoter. I actually had to connect on my own, and I just was so lost. I think I actually called the promoter and was handing the phone over at the desk because there was no communication at all. But most of the time it's fine, isn't it? I mean, as lazy as it is, so many people speak English, so you get away with it. Unfortunately, it's bad, but we get away with it.
Because, you know, a lot of places you go and you assume everyone speaks a bit of English, and it's actually not always the case. So big places like, you know, big capitals, like if you go to Seoul, if you go to Beijing or Shanghai, you'd assume, you know, people would just get by with a bit of English, but actually not so much. So you really have to just figure it out and play by ear and pull out the sign language and try to get back to place A from place B and vice versa. But it's fun. I mean, I never really got scared and lost, and you always, you know, figure out a way. So it's kind of like exciting.
I can speak Turkish. Merhaba, nasılsınız? That's hello, how are you? I went to school in Turkey when I was like 4 or 5 for a year and a half, and then through my dad's job, and then I've been going out there every year. My dad lives out there permanently now, but you don't get many of them out here, so it's no good out here really. They all call me a plastic Turk.
Aye.
Because I'm a Geordie, but like I love Turkish.
Pretty much born and bred from Newcastle, really, like.
Iceland was a bit difficult. Iceland was a bit difficult just because it's kind of like
cold.
Blinkety blonk, dinkety bonk, dumper donk. You know, it's not like, you know, French or Spanish where some words kind of like coexist. Yeah. You know, that's a team.
I speak Yorkshire. It's a difficult language to pick up. Mer detect. Right, begin.
Bones is a really good mumbler.
I mumble. I speak French.
You're half Spanish, aren't you, guy?
Ocho.
Ocho.
Which is by far the most powerful word in Spanish.
8.
Yeah. If you think about it, it's like unos, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, siete, ocho.
I'm not down with the lingo, no. It's something that I should really like pick up on. I was discussing it today actually, and it's really bad. We expect everybody to speak English, and you know, you go into a bar and then you speak English but you put on a funny accent like, hello, could I have a ham and tomato baguette, please?
If you drop me in a place for long enough, I figure survival words pretty quick. And usually that's how I spoke Spanish, because I had like really good Spanish friends at school, and I spent like the holidays here for like 3 months times, like 2 years in a row, and then I used to be pretty fluent in Spanish. I lost it, but usually you just like, it's like instinctual. It just comes to you just by figuring out, how to get around, and that's what I like about it.
Easier to speak about music actually in English than in French, because more used to.
Yeah, I mean, what's quite strange I've always found is that lots of my mates will always say, oh, what kind of music's popular in that country or that country? It's actually the same everywhere. So it's kind of a universal language in a way that you can communicate with people when you're working in the same way in every country you're in. So there's definitely a form of communication with the music, definitely.
Well, it is, but I don't really relate it to just spoken language. It's like another thing. It's more like you just create a mood and you communicate, some kind of a mood to the other people, but obviously there's no language barrier. Not like a specific message like do this, do that, or I want to tell you this tonight, but more like, you want to make people happy, and depending on where you are, where they are, the time of the year, whatever, the given situation and the given place, like this club and this crowd at this particular day, you're not going to communicate exactly the same way as another club in another country. Not because this is like an English place and this is a Spanish and this is like a Chinese, whatever. Just the vibe you get off the people and off the actual surroundings make you communicate things in a different way. That's what makes you a DJ, basically. You try to carry out some emotions. And the way you get those emotions to happen really varies from your own mood to the surroundings and settings you are. So it's totally different from just getting some spoken words across, I think.
Music's what?
Just think it's a universal language. Everybody gets it, really, at the end of the day. Different than religion. But at the end of the day, you can have a great song. Doesn't matter where you come from, no matter where who you are.
Even the foreigners can sing along.
Music is a language. I think it's a language of emotions. It's much more easier to carry out emotions through music, even though someone else has recorded it, or it can be your own or someone else's. But I think by putting it together in a certain way, you can create some kind of a general mood and feeling. So I think it's easier to express emotions and feelings by way of music rather than saying, okay, well, I love you, I don't like you, or I want you to be happy, whatever.
Speak in other variations of language via playing records, then so be it, and that makes people have a good time. And then, because me trying to chat to them and having a conversation with them with my dulcet tones, which you probably won't be able to understand on this video anyway, and you'll probably get like, yeah, I need a little person outside of me like going, Kelly, come sit here, and flipping like, I'm just going to carry on speaking English to people and be rude and get upset and frustrated when they don't understand me. And yeah, because that's what we do. We're English, aren't we?
No, I'm not talking beans on fucking toast.